Welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. This episode is not going to have any animals in it, so if you want that, you have to go to the next one. But I thought this was a great opportunity to bring up something. There's people out there that have decks. I have lots of deck, as you can see. When we built the house, we put in an above ground pool, and we had built it up to there initially, and then Tara wanted it going right around, and of course we also have a wraparound deck going around the house. So this is what I'd like to talk about here. Now, trying to find something, you can see how worn this is. I thought, okay, I need to fix that. So this is, by the way, this isn't a paid advertisement, but this is the only oil penetrating oil stain that I could find. There's not a lot of them out there. So I picked this up, and the guy who sold it to me at the Home Depot said, and that's not paid either, said that this is the stuff you want to do, an all-in-one wood cleaner for bear, and it turns this into this. So that pretty much matches what I'm dealing with here. Now I have started over in this end, and this actually looks pretty new. Now, you can't compare this with the stuff over on that side because this isn't as exposed to the sun nearly as much. So this looks pretty near new. This is in the sun. This isn't in the sun. So this is what it would have looked like. So you can see it has done a pretty good job. So I'm going to start. Well, I've already started and worked my way down here. I'm just going to do the back for now and see how this goes. But I'm going to start working on this stuff here, and you can see how that works. So what I've done is I took this spray bottle and I filled it up. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. And I was looking around for a brush. They say grab a brush and you want to brush it. So I have this dog brush. I'm sure I've got other ones out there, but I'm too lazy to go and find them. So anyway, this is what we're going to start with. So you have to spray it on and then brush it off, or brush it in, and you have to leave it wet for about, I think it says 10 minutes or so, just to get that in. I don't know if I went that much on that side, but it was pulling up all kinds of gunk, so you'll see that in a minute. So what I did is I just wet it down, sprayed it on like that. There's a way you're supposed to do this. I was kind of doing these little round guys here. And you can just see all that gunk that's coming up. And it is cleaning it up pretty well. All right, I think that is basically about it. You want to make sure you get into these knots and stuff like that. But it's pretty gross stuff. This deck would have been, it's 9 years old now. So it was just pressure treated lumber. And that's what it looks like. So that's what it looks like to there. So let's grab the hose here. We'll turn this on and let the magic begin. There we go. So that looks pretty good. Now, of course, this is just the first stage. So I want to make sure that I get this sealed up. And not leave it. So that looks pretty good. There's the old and there's the new. So it does do a good job. All right, I am back. Now I've finished the whole section. And one thing I noticed here is this section here, I didn't even use any of that chemical on that stripper, that cleaner. And it looks pretty darn good. It's you know, it's the same as the other. I'll have to wait and see what it looks like when it's dry. But it looks much better than it did by just simply using brush and water. So that is done completely around. This section here is dry. So this is what it looks like. It's a little pale. So now using that stain, since it's an oil base, it should bring out that richness of the wood texture. So let's hope. So what I'll do is I'll let that dry. Probably I'll come back in about an hour or so and see what it looks like. So what I found out was I did a water test, which the guy at Home Depot mentioned. He said when you finish it off, make sure that if you put a drip of water on the wood, it'll soak into the wood and not sit on top. Now, without the chemical treatment, it did actually bubble up, so I had to use that cleaning. But I found it was a lot easier scrubbing it first and then going through and using the treatment on top of it. So I had tried it over in this section and it dried right in. Now, I have started doing this, and you can see here, this is kind of what it looks like. So it looks good. It looks, it's one of the lighter shades. I didn't want to have like a dark stain. So it is a little darker. I'm hoping it's going to light up when it dries. Now it doesn't say to apply in direct sunlight, so I'm kind of in a holding pattern here with the sun, kind of chasing the sun around. Now I did do this section over here, and this looks good. So this is all done and stained, and from what it looks like like it'll do a good job. And here you can see the old versus the new. Doesn't that look nice? Fast forward a couple days and it is dry. So that is looking great. And it's dried to a very nice color, a nice rich color. And again, going to the corner, there is the pre-treatment and stain, and here is afterwards. So during the week, Tara, or the last few days, Tara had used up the rest of that stain in the front picnic area. And she had stained the countertop to the barbecue area. So that looks nice, and it's protected. And this is where usually if we have barbecues, of course, things get placed out on this counter and up onto this counter over there. Also, the picnic tables were also done. It keeps them nice and clean and waterproofed. And they look new. So it looks like I'm going to have to pick up probably a big jug of it to do all the other areas. So that's it. That's it for this episode on staining. And if you find this useful, I hope you do, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.